Hey, Storytelling Ron here, and the last 25 hours for my Kickstarter. So I'm just doing another little video to promote it and drink coffee. Coffee with butter and salt in it. Yeah, I'm doing my little. I'm not carnivore. I'm like dirtyvore, ketovore. I still kind of eat other stuff. My daughter's a hardcore chef, so I gotta enjoy the stuff. But anyway, so let's go to the. And I do want to say this. I'm very contentious and critical of other RPGs, right? Like pagan RPGs, and Christians, we got to be Christian in RPGs. I'm like, kind of, do I want to back off from that contentiousness and be supportive? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I do. I do watch a lot of RPG videos on YouTube, and they're all about the pagan RPGs. And it's because that's the culture, that's the mission field, that's what I'm going after, as far as, and I'm not going after the atheists and pagans. They can do their thing. I'm going after Christians and saying, hey guys, we've got to put your faith into it openly, because look at the world today. It's not a church culture anymore. It is a pagan culture, and we're all conceding that, and as Christians. And I'm saying we don't need to do that, and we can create our own RPGs that not only where we can have our faith in it and openly have our faith and be fun and silly about it, but you turn it into our own ministry to show them to that's what we do. We push our culture and our church culture onto the pagan world, and that's what created the Western civilization that we have today. Civilization. I'm watching that series Rome on Max, and that was made a few years ago. I'm loving it. I'm loving it because it's depicting paganism. And it's depicting how revenge is the most common tool or psyche of a pagan. Revenge. And the reason I know this for realsies is that every pagan culture has been a dictatorship, a tyranny. The only one that hasn't is Greece, and they say democracy is invented in Greece. But I've contention in that, protest in that, because remember the Jews were there for centuries before they started democracy, and they created the Septuagint, whatever, the Greek translation of the Old Testament back then, when democracy, or the Republic and democracy was formed in Greece. And remember, the Greeks as pagans would as philosophers would hear each other's beliefs. So the Jews most certainly told them, and the Greeks most certainly read the Bible, and there is a depiction of a democracy formed under Moses, a republic. So I absolutely believe democracy came from God through the Septuagint, and then the Greeks took that and created their thing, because the Jews were a republic. If they followed the Old Testament, their tribes or however they formed their governance in their own circles, even in Greece, were democratic republic. And no one, I've never heard anyone say that. Not that I've delved that far into the history of Greek and all that, Jewish, but I know that much. I know those hard-hitting facts. Okay, so paganism will not create a world that we sort of take for granted today. Christianity did, the church culture did. And another example is that in South America, there's a movie called End of the Spear. I think it's called End of the Spear. A really good movie and documentary. I watched both, the movie and the documentary. And the movie's really good. You should have your kids watch it. There's violence because when the missionaries go there, the parents or the father, the men that started it, the white men that started it, landed their plane, and the freaking brown people came right out and killed them. Just execute them. Didn't even give them a chance. Very sad beginning, yet incredible story, where then the family came. The son of the father who was murdered came, or the family or whatever. I don't know how. I gotta watch it again. It was really good, and converted them. And the man who killed his father, became a Christian, and it was incredible. And the story continues today. Now the son is old. He may have passed away recently or not, but he has helped them build up an amazing culture of Christian tribes in the area. And they fly those bicycle-like planes, to deliver stuff to each other. And he came to America, the and saw, all this stuff, the modern stuff. So it's an incredible story of a Christian church, of Christians dealing with pagans. And the guy said, the Indian said, the tribe, that if you Christians hadn't come and changed us, the tribes, we would have killed each other in revenge, because it was a cycle of revenge for generations. It never stopped. It was just killing, gang warfare, revenge. That's how they lived, and they felt. And he said, like, I gotta watch it again, but I felt like, he said, like, if they hadn't come, we would have ended up murdering each other to the end. And that's what I'm after here. That's what I'm warning you guys, telling you guys, warning myself, that if we don't get back to a church culture, all the crap what we're seeing in the world, in the West, is all the decay, all the sexual perversities that are being pushed now, the renaissance of the witches that they have openly declared, is going to keep happening. And you're like, oh, it's not, it is your business. It's my business, and it's your business. And if you're a crazy Christian RPGer, it is your business, and it's your business in that culture, because the RPG culture is freaking a gateway drug to paganism, and they know it, and they love it, and they're pushing it. And I have a heart for RPGs. I really do. I have a bigger, my heart is for God. So this is the solution. This is a solution I figured out. This is a solution you need to take. I don't care if you steal my idea, take my idea, support it, or don't support it, but take the ideas out of it, because the game is free on my website. I don't care which way you do it. Just do it. Man. Okay. So, let me go back to this. I'm sorry. I was thinking about, I want to support more Christian RPGs, but I need to know that they're Christian and not, fakey. That's what my mind was going through. All right. So, and I do that a lot. I wonder, even on the video. Okay. So this is the 25 hours ago, I've only got 11 backers. And like I said before, when I first started it and blasted it out, all of the rewards were gone. So there's a little something going on there. Where are they? Right here. See how it says all gone? All gone. These are not all gone. And I left them in there. I've replaced them with new ones, but the first week of it, they were all gone. So all the lower price ones were gone. So I don't know how. And I contacted support. They said, oh, there's a glitch. Just you can just add new ones if you want. I'm like, really? So I kept it going. And I can only email blast and my subscribers. I got a lot of subscribers. I got over 500 subscribers on my website, so that's cool. But I can only email blast so much. Anyway, so, and the free PDF, by the way, is a little older. When I get this done, I'm gonna put that up as the new free PDF. But then this is mainly for the hard book. I don't know if I'm going to put this up as a free PDF. I don't know. I got to figure this out. But I do have a free PDF. I got to clean that one up as well. But this one's even more, got more stuff. I just, I got to figure it out. So think about this. And also, I'm doing these videos on YouTube because it's really the biggest way I have found to find people, because I cannot promote this anywhere. I can't promote this in churches. Oddly, I can't promote this in homeschools. I mean, I try to at the little homeschool, but I can't promote it at big homeschools or whatever, because they have that, they have the whole satanic panic kind of view of RPGs or role-playing games. And it's weird that Christians, we a ton of Christians play RPGs, but we keep it on the low down. but I think the reason we keep it on low down is because we haven't shown that we can actually do a Christian RPG and evangelism and church planning. And I 2 or 3 years ago, because I was playtesting this 2 years ago. But before that, I had no idea that we could do this. I had no idea that we could do evangelism and church planning in a role-playing game. And now that I'm doing it, it's absolutely works, and it's absolutely fun, and it absolutely adds, huge flavor to it all. And I'm thinking about making a gonzo, crazy, very D&D fantasy world. Nope, not the way you think though, because we need the Bible, right, and Jesus Christ and God. We need the connection of Earth to that story. The Bible is intrinsically connected with Earth and our history, as far as these stories go, and how we understand God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. So the world has to be sort of coming from an Earth timeline. So it would be sort of like a super, Hyperborea type of crazy gonzo world like that, but it's all like genetically modified, crazy mad scientists that created all these things. and there's AIs on the planet that are continually creating new creatures and dragons and trolls and all that using genetic mutations and stuff. And the missionaries are from Earth or whatever, thrown into that world, and so that they can have a fantasy world in. But anyway, that's crazy future stuff. Right now I'm really trying to delve into church history with this one, and the post-apocalyptic and the sci-fi one, just to delve into those genres just for the fun of it. But I want to show you something else here. So I did Christian RPG search, and there's nothing there. There's nothing but me and all of YouTube, as far as I can tell. There's no other Christian RPG. Now, this is some guy talking about Christian RPGs, but it's been over 3 years now since he's posted, and he just talks about, and he's only talked about a couple. The Holy Lands one, which I don't. I checked it out years ago and tried to get involved with it, but I didn't really get much of a response, so I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about Holy Lands anymore. I don't see their presence anywhere on YouTube, so I don't really know what's going on with them. Here's my craziness here: D&D to Christian RPG, and the rest of these are role playing or video games, right? They're talking about video game stuff with Christian stuff, so I don't have any real connection with that. Actually, it's funny. I do turn off my head when I play computer games, because they're kind of my downtime. Although I'm doing Darkest Dungeon right now, which I don't really know if I like the gameplay, but the artwork is I want to use to influence my new wave of doodles and stuff. Light Raiders, the thing about Light Raiders is I feel like it's more of a Bible study type of game and not really an actual role playing game. So I don't really know, I don't really know that much about it in that sense. And I should actually watch this one. Because I'm just not, it's about lessons of the Bible. And I to me, I don't want, it's just my own state of mind. I don't want lessons of the Bible. I want evangelism. I want to go out and evangelize. What are you doing for the Lord? That's what we need. But this is important, especially for younger people too. So I'm not going to, that's fine. I'm just not that in there. And these are these are not, these are just video games. So I don't even know what, these are all video game things. World of Warcraft, video game. So that's it. No, here I am again. Here I am again with the Allies of Majesty guy. Good guy. I need to talk to him again about this. Okay. RPG Christian video games. Spanish. Yeah. So those are other things I've been watching. So that's it. No other Christian RPG. Am I proud of that? No. I also, I'm begging, and the reason I'm making these videos too is because I noticed that in order for an RPG person to get excited on YouTube about their game or doing other games, you want to watch other people talk about it. And that's since I'm the only one doing it, and I'm the only one for the Lord RPG since I'm creating this, I might as well just keep making content, and that's what I'm doing. And I enjoy it. So here's the game. I am building it out. I've showed this in the previous videos. This is, I think I'm going to work on today, is working on building out this little village stuff you can encounter, where you go in and encounter like different witches, fortune tellers, revenge witches that craft vengeance for you, whether it's through spells and curses or they actually hire goons for you to go and that's paganism. Vengeance is perfectly legit form of paganism. Fortune telling, drugs, love potions, so they can encounter those type of witches in the village, and they will have to deal with that. Yeah, and you as the GM got to play those witches or sorcerers who have a store and actually do that there at that store, and they have villagers that all bow down to these connivers, these pagan connivers. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to work on that. And then here is these are all the play tested adventures I've done. And you can see on the side, this is and I've created space for what I think will be my fill out for each of those areas. And I've gotten to 80 pages, but I'm going to get to 103 because I want this to be I love this, these books, these hardbound books that for the Christians in Space one. It's funny because Dark Ages is the first one I did, but I easily filled out the minimum of 100 pages to do the hardbound for Amazon, but I got to fill out the Dark Ages one because it was like 40, the original. Because it's rules light, very rules light, but the expansion of it is amazing through die ranks and die rank results. Die ranks and die rank results are the way to do anything in the game, like for figuring out engineering, crafting, what else? Action skills and doing crazy stuff, and research and all that. You just do, and there's no limit to the skills. It's a skill-based system, not levels. You don't have to cap. And when you get to a certain point of the levels, skills, it does the whole medium curve thing where you're a bell curve where you're, it becomes a dice pool and you can keep adding die if you want, but the diminishing returns, as you go up, you still can keep going up, but diminishing returns type of thing. But then it turns into a dice pool and it's kind of fun. So you're not limited in this game at all. You don't hit a certain level and then you got to stop playing those characters. So what I've done in this is here's a simple adventure. These are all the modular pieces that are available. Oh, not even showing it to you. My goodness. Okay. So what I've done in this one is here's a modular image of the map, a forest path that they go through, and it's just placing, and you can place them however you want or create your own doodles or whatever. I'm just giving an example really, and how this is one of the first intro adventure you can do. And basically they come to this opening of the forest, and there's a mother and her two barbaric sons, and they want you to offer they want them, so this is like a test. The Christians give an offering to Pan so that they have a safe journey through the forest. And I've done this a couple times now in role-playing games, and it's been great. And man, it puts you right up to the dilemma. Do you give an offering to Pan to be safe in this forest path or not? And it's contentious. I keep using that word because I like it, but that's because that's my psyche. But it's funny, and as a GM, you just got to present this to them. Do they give an offering to Pan to have a safe passage, or they go on their way? And of course, these three snarl at them and have traps ready to spring on them in the forest, because they want to make sure that everyone in the area knows that Pan, to give to Pan. Otherwise, you will be. It's an extortion type thing, and there's all these traps set up, and you can even create more, and then there could be some random beasts or whatever. But the thing that they do is they drug and they attract beasts, right, through bait or through drugs or through keeping them in the pit. Here there's a boar that's stuck. They dug a pit here with mud, and there's a boar that lives there and will attack them, etc. Now if they give an offering to Pan, the men will quickly go out there and unset the traps or whatever, and keep the wolves in the camp. And then when they go to town, everyone will know that they gave an offering to Pan, right? So that's the thing you got to do whenever they sort of concede or give in to pagan requests. The people should know about it, and so that would make it really hard for them to then convert. And you just add die ranks to the resistance conversion thing, and you should use that. And I don't have a direct rule on that. You as a GM should be aware of that and role play it that way. I should have a rule on it, but I really don't. If the Christians do things that are not Christian, you lower their morale kind of rating or whatever. I don't have a rule like that. I just allow. I was thinking about it, but then I'm like, you know what? Just role play it. You as a GM and I know if they can concede to paganism, if they give in to paganism, it will be a part of the game. They will have to now deal with it in the story, and it will give more resistance to the play NPCs that are there. And I've even, so this is the second story that I did play tested, but I'm gonna flesh it out. I've even added more. I've added this Lost Temple in there just for the fun of it. I'm gonna flesh that out as a kind of optional extended part of this adventure, where they go into the mine, deal with the bad guy, but they can also find a lost mine. Because this is like, if you want to do a campaign where you have a long fun thing, and I want to add more D&D style adventuring, so that'll be in there. So then this is what I do is I break down then the bigger map into smaller areas, that you could place on your table. And they're all very like sort of generic, and you can do what you want and just get the ideas down so that you can create your own. This is obviously a forest path, which you can do it any way you want. And there's some sort of ravine where they go over to get to the mines, and that could be a fun, dangerous thing. And here's the mines, and you can obviously extrapolate that on even bigger ones. And the reason I didn't make this bigger is because, and it should be kind of a first level type of thing, but the reason I didn't make it bigger is because there's a lot more mines in the story. So there's a lot more multiple mines, and plus there's this lost temple I added, which is right here, and that I broke down. And I'm going to add some fun stuff in there. I'm going to use a lot of like prehistoric creatures. And giant prehistoric creatures like prehistoric giant larvae, prehistoric giant beetles, prehistoric giant crabs, prehistoric, cave dwellers, prehistoric. So we can add monsters, right? And old traps. And this is like an old Roman burial site because it's 6th century. So think about it. Romans were in this area from 300 BC or 200 BC? I don't remember. I think it was 500 BC to 500 AD. In essence, they're about 1,000 years. I mean, whatever the quality of it. So within 100 years of this time period, 408 or 4th century, 3rd century, 2nd century, easily some rich patrician could have come over here, built a temple, pagan temple, or the local tribes in that area could have easily built something it's a fantasy type of thing, but you could relate it to history in the sense of like all these pagans built all kinds of burial sites and temples and pyramid type of structures in the area. Not upground, maybe underground type of things. So you could easily make all kinds of fun tombs and stuff. It's made up, but why not? In this third adventure, there's a bunch of little mini mines. They're small because there's 3 of them, so you gotta like deal with all of these if you wanted to free the slaves. And then you got to go to this area and deal with the their circle of stones. So, which has where they force people to become horned ones, young men in their slavery. So, this is a fun village nearby too with an underground pit thing here, and I'm gonna add some more stuff in the forest nearby, but dealing with pagan stuff. And here is a barrow downs type of thing where you go to this marshy swamp and there's burial sites, and those things are haunted, and they got prehistoric swampy creatures and water drenched in there underwater. I'm going to add a little more. I don't know why it's white. I'm going to redo this with the colored part probably. I think I originally did it on Photoshop, but now I do them in Foundry and then take a screen capture and then put them in here. And those got the undead in there. Evil spirits. Even in the hagiographies of actual historical monks, they had evil spirits and possessed things. So, hey, I get to use it. So it just builds up from there. You got towns to go to that are all pagan, and this one they worship the dragon of the lake, and that was pretty fun little game I did or episode on. I don't know if it's on YouTube or if I uploaded it or not, but it was very good. It was, trust me. But here it is, and I did 3 different versions because I'm coming out of the water. Swimming around and causing tension, then bursting out, then jumping on the land, and while they were fighting it, the pagans were all cheering on the dragon to kill the Christians. that was pretty funny. It's because that's the true storyline of any of D&D that they they've gentrified and homogenized. The pagan RPGs have turned paganism into a victim of monsters, when in truth paganism was what supported and worshipped the monsters. See, that's what they've done. They're rewriting history in the sense of teaching you that the villagers are all nice and innocent, and that we don't need Christians at all, and the villagers are nice and innocent and don't like slavery. But in truth, they all had slaves. All the pagans had slaves. The Vikings all had slaves. And we seem to ignore that, and Christians, had slaves, but then they hated it, so they fought to get rid of it. Christians came into a slave culture. The world was full of slavery when Christianity started. The world was, full of slavery as kitchen appliances, right? As harems, all of that. So when Christianity came in, it started to slowly remove it. But paganism, these pagans here, what they don't show in the RPG games that you guys were creating today, all the pagans act like Christians, but they just don't have Jesus Christ, which is BS. You can't, it's just, it's just frustrating for me that we're rewriting history in that sense. Like, oh, pagans are so good. It's just so ridiculous. So I want to get back to everyone's got slaves that you encounter, right? You're going to rescue these villagers, but they all have slaves, and they will sacrifice their slaves to the dragon, just to get on with their day if they have to. And that's what you're dealing with, and they don't want to talk about that in these RPGs and these adventures and stuff. Okay, so I'm adding more tombs and crypts in here as I show here. Creatures, this is like the older ones, but I'm just going through real quick. This is a nice swamp one where you're gonna fight a dragon, which is a big giant swamp crocodile, swamp croc, and we could probably add more swamp crocs just for the fun of it, and maybe a whole army of swamp crocs and giant crabs, and they're just as dangerous as any beasts out there. This is a cool one with a ogre type. We are Centurion, like he is. We are Legion. This guy is like a demonic possessed ogre troll Roman soldier. Kind of like that guy in 300, the bent over dude. I forgot his name, but giant. But this is of course bigger, tougher. Yeah. So the way they depicted creatures in 300, the big rhino and the giant elephants. I definitely want to do that kind of stuff too. Oh, I don't even have a giant scary elephant. That's gonna be cool. I haven't even done that. I've done dinosaurs and stuff, but I have not done a giant. And that's historically, could be around. I got to do that. Okay, so man, I got to write that down somewhere. Giant scary elephants and mammoths and stuff. Okay, so I just want to let you know I'm building out this, all the artwork in here. I'm building it out. All the artwork in here is meant to be usable, right? I really do enjoy good artwork in books and stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I can't use it. I can't show them it because it's got all the rules around it or whatever. It's got all the lists and stuff, the adventures and ideas. It's kind of weird that we sort of accept that. So all the artwork I'm doing in it is meant to be usable. So so that's why all you see is maps, map pieces, and tokens in the artwork because I'm drawing it all and I want it to be usable by you as the GM to throw at them in the game. Okay, so that's me for the Lord Dark Ages. Last 24 hours of my Kickstarter to do the hardbound and the campaign book hardbound, which I really love these books. I like having them here and just throwing them out while I'm playing the game. The game system is so simple that even in Foundry, you only need a PDF. You don't, it's pretty amazing. Every skill, everything you uses the die ranks and the die rank result system and the rolling. So you don't have to have paragraphs of explanations. You don't have to have lists of feats, and the GM doesn't have to know all of them or be caught off guard by a ton of different things that are all kind of weird and magical in their own sense and confusing and all that. So yeah, it's just I'm really enjoying the and not only am I the creator of this game, but it's a customer and I use it and I put it out there. I'm not just a terrible YouTuber. I am actually a terrible RPG YouTuber who talks about stuff. I actually put out what I do, and I don't edit it. Right? You see the nuts and bolts of how I GM, and the good and bad. You see when I have good moments GMing and when I have bad moments GMing. When there's tension between me and the players and problems, but also great moments and funny stuff. So I just put it out there, man, because I kind of want you to see the ups and downs of GMing and of role-playing games, and it's not Critical Role or whatever where it's all edited and scripted. I'm not saying they're edited, but whatever. I don't edit. I don't. It's not about everyone that plays in my games are real people, and they're not even my friends. Like in the sense of we weren't like friends for 10 years, 20 years, and we know each other. This is all new people. I don't even know them. I haven't even shook their hands because it's all online. And I feel like I'm running the gauntlet as far as proving that this works. This game system works. I know what I'm doing, and showing it to you by actually doing it online. And it's not people that are kissing my butt either. I'm not paying them money. I am not giving them a job. I am not. They're not friends that have been with me forever and know how to play through my way. These are people that have their own ideas and opinions on things, and I'm doing a Christian RPG, so even then, so yeah, I feel like I'm very happy. I'm very joyful at what I'm doing and proving to myself more than anything that I've got what it takes to do all of this, and put I'm trying to figure out idioms. I keep forgetting them all because I'm getting older or something. Putting my nose to the grindstone or whatever. And what is it? When I'm proving myself. I'm proving that I as a GM can do all this. And I'm doing it online. I'm putting it all out there, kind of thing. All right, whatever. Okay, so, but I got stuff to do. All right. So there's the Kickstarter. Thank you so much for listening. And I'm trying to just create a Christian role-playing game content and YouTube videos on YouTube. And I hope that some of you guys can do that for the little RPG. We need more. We need to be present more in the culture and bring the church culture back to the culture, because it is all pagan now, and they're all dogging us and telling us to be quiet about our faith, and no more. We got to stop that. We got to get into their head space, into their culture space, and take it back. We need to take it back. We need to say Merry Christmas and not be belittled, bit by bit, to get them to make us shut up. So put your faith on your shoulder, or on your out there, as Jesus Christ told us to. Okay, in the game of life, roll holy dice.